Well, like I said earlier, AI is going to be in everything. So for computers themselves, you're going to see an introduction of AI built into the hardware itself, which is already starting. You see that now. So AI is, as you know, running on data centers. So when you talk to ChatGPT, for example, it's not your computer doing anything. It's just a website interacting with a giant data center. So, for example, yesterday, ChatGPT was so busy it wouldn't let me in because it's billions of people around the world are using the system. Okay, so now they're trying to make it so that there is an additional processing unit inside your computer that handles just the work for AI. Every company is working on that. Intel is, AMD. Also a new company now called Qualcomm, which you probably heard about. That's in the news.
San Diego, it's at their stadium.
That's a company to watch. They just introduced a chip called Snapdragon Elite. We started carrying their notebooks now that actually have AI built into the chip. And what that means is that they are trying to offload the processing from the internet onto your own computer.
That's so cool.
So you don't really need the connection to the internet anymore to make the AI work on your computer. So, yeah, it's great. So.
Welcome back to My Living Media Podcast. My name is Paul Gagliardi, president of My Living Media. Today, our special guest is Jurgen Schwanitz, owner of ACT Computers. Welcome.
Thank you, Paul.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and your company? Just kind of a brief overview, because I have a bunch of questions for you after that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks.
In this beautiful studio in Stuart. It's fantastic. And so my name is Jurgen Schwanitz. I'm the owner of ACT Computers. We've been in business for 29 years now, almost 30. And we are one of the largest IT companies on the Treasure Coast. So we actually have a retail store also, which is very unique. Actually, a store we can walk into, buy products, and then also the rest of the store is dedicated to business, MSP, IT work, and we're busy.
What kind of products are you selling out of the store?
We sell everything from, obviously, computers. We still build our own machines. We've done that since 1995, and we still have customers looking for that because they like the quality and they keep coming back for these things. We sell Lenovo products, servers, notebooks. So this is about a 4,000 square foot facility.
Wow.
So we have everything to offer. Even specialized things like 3D printing. We do that in-house. We do that mostly for producing parts that you can't get anywhere else. We started doing that quite a bit. We also do software development. Lots of things we offer.
What's up? What do you mean, the parts for 3D computers or 3D printers?
3D printing is quite a new thing. Well, not totally new, but it's more production ready nowadays. So we can actually print parts that people want to reproduce. So if you, like, for example, if you have something like a car part, like a small, like a plastic doorknob or something, and you want to reproduce that, we can actually reproduce that in-house.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Services and clients. So what unique services does ACT Computers offer, and how do you cater to residential and commercial clients? You touched on that just now, that you have a kind of a retail site, but you also...
Yes.
I mean, we're one of your clients now.
Yes,
and,
thank you so much.
No, thank you.
We're very excited to be working with you.
You've been more than patient.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, yes, exactly. That's what we do. We are an all-in-one solution for your business, for your IT work. So we can make sure your business is running properly, from your server environment to security, access for your employees, down to supplying the hardware and changing out an interval, let's say every 3 to 5 years, you should be replacing your computers. We also are very, very big into cybersecurity. It's probably our largest field, to make sure we protect our clients, because nowadays, as you know, that's one of the most important things, to stay safe.
It's amazing, really.
It is.
It's scary.
Yeah. Well, with technology, sadly, technology moves so fast, but security always lags behind. So we get a new gadget, like, for example, everybody started getting things at home, like security cameras and gadgets for the house. But there's lots of intrusions always and stuff like that. So you always have to make sure these things are secure. And the same thing for your home as it is for your business.
It's crazy to even think about, right?
Right.
We weren't talking about this 30 years ago.
Oh, it didn't exist. No, obviously. I mean, things change a lot.
Yes,
so
they
it's
have.
about to change again. So, yeah.
Approach to clients. How does ACT Computers tailor its approach to residential versus commercial clients? Is there?
Yeah, I mean, we have we are set up in two teams. So we have one team dealing just with residential and break fix walk-ins clients, and so they're obviously more tailored for that kind of area in business. And then we also have business technicians that are much higher skilled for security, network, and certifications nowadays. In order to be able to work on a business network, you need to have certain certifications, you need to have insurance, you need to have experience. And so we actually have a quite a nice selection of technicians we can send out and help you.
And where they get the training? Is it in-house? Is it through
We do some
online?
in-house. The thing is with us, we are looking only for technicians that have experience for at least 10 years. So actually right now, we're actually looking for more technicians. We're expanding. So, but our criteria is you have to be experienced in the IT field for at least 10 years working with IT.
Interesting.
And we're not talking just building computers. We're talking about security, networking, everything else. Certifications are very handy to have, but in-field experience is the most important thing. That's what you hear.
What got you doing this? Is it a passion? Is it young man or?
Yeah. So I started with computers. I'm from Germany originally. I came here when I was 13 years old. And back in the early days, I started with computers when I was about 6 years old in Germany. So I wasn't very good in spelling. So my mother thought, hey, computers are coming out now. They're getting cheaper. Let's buy them a computer. So they got me a Commodore computer back then, a Commodore 64. And I started liking it. So I started programming, working with it, and it became my hobby. So
wow.
And also my father, he was in the field in Germany, not the IT field, but supporting businesses with their safes and infrastructure for storage back in Germany. So he had a lot of excess stuff, old things he could bring home that was junk, and I would take it apart, look at it, study it, and so it was very interesting to me.
So cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your mom, just the insight that she had to do that? I mean, what a gift she gave you.
She did. She gave me a big gift. So that was, I was instantly hooked on that machine. And games, obviously, but programming started. I was going to go into programming. I did that for a long time. But after we moved to America, I started thinking, okay, I can do this professionally. So we started our business in 1994, really. That's when we started.
Tough start, or?
Yes, obviously everything is tough when you start. You have to have a thick skin and be persistent.
You do.
So luckily, we were welcomed into the American community, and I'm very happy about meeting certain individuals that helped us get started, because connections is very important in life. So we worked our way up from having a 500 square foot store to where we are now. So we're very happy.
Which is how many square feet now?
4,000. So,
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, tech and service blend. Your website mentions blending modern tech with old-fashioned services. Can you elaborate on that approach?
Yes. So we always had the approach of being able to deal with the customer directly. So, old-fashioned service is the way it should be done, no matter what kind of business you're really in. And nowadays, as you can see with those large companies, like phone companies or whatever, and you're trying to get somebody on the phone or help, it
drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's a half-a-day endeavor. And so there's no service left anymore. So we're trying to differentiate us in that aspect of always being able to help the customer with a technician. One thing you'll find when you call us, a technician will pick up the phone. We don't have an answering service. So when somebody picks up the phone at our business, it's a technician, and they will be able to help you or give you to another technician that handles your case.
Wow,
so
cool.
We always have done that. Also, 24-hour turnaround. So we offer 24-hour service when it comes to repairs, because we like to get you in and out quickly, so you don't have to wait so long. Because you know how it is, you can't have downtime. So even for home computers, if you don't have that machine at home and now you got to do something, you got to pay a bill, it's not there, it's panic time.
Yeah,
so you got to get it back quickly. And we always offer that 24-hour turnaround, and we can because we have the manpower, and we also have the parts in stock. So if something is needed as a hard drive, a memory, or anything you have, we have it there. We actually stock more hardware than some of the big box stores. So we actually have that available to us.
Is that for most of the ones that you're building, the machines you build, or?
Everything.
Wow.
Most of the stuff we build, yes, but also hardware to build other machines for servers, for example, business environments. We always carry spare parts that we can deploy right away so the customer doesn't have to wait and there's no downtime.
You must have been waiting a lot.
Yeah.
So, staying ahead or updated, how do you remain abreast of the latest technological advancements, and how are these integrated into your services?
How to stay ahead? Well,
Because you're always behind, right? You're always,
Yeah.
For cyber stuff, you're always. You just said it earlier that you're always a couple steps behind,
Right.
Because you got to keep up with everything.
Right. And just like any business, you got to move with the times. If you stand still, you're getting left behind. Like some of these larger department stores that close down because they don't want to adapt to anything new in the world. So same as with my business. It's a constant learning. And I kind of compare our business model to running a bakery shop, which sounds crazy, but it's like when our products get old and cold and stale, nobody wants them anymore. So we rotate our products very quickly. We never have anything old in the store. It goes in and out very quick, and you have to have that capacity to do this. When it comes to staying ahead for learning things, taking classes, just like any business owner, being aware of things, what's going on in the economy and what's popular, focusing on that. For example, right now, everybody talks about AI, artificial intelligence, so we're getting into that quite a bit too, because obviously there's a good big market for that. So
Huge.
Yeah, it is very huge.
That's all anybody's talking about anymore.
Yeah, you can't turn the TV on without hearing it.
It's true. It's crazy, really. I mean, it's like, and it makes a lot of people very nervous.
It does. But I've given some talks about AI because we've been with this for quite a bit and saw things before ChatGPT came around, and there's nothing to be scared of really. I mean, it's the same as like introducing the computers, or people were thinking they were going to lose their jobs. It's just going to be a different type of job. So you might have people losing a certain type of job that's very redundant. That is just the AI can do, but at the end of it, they can do something better than that, something more productive. So we don't have to be scared of it. And we are using AI anyway. If you've used Siri or any kind of assistant for the last 10 years on your iPhone, you've used AI. It's just getting better all the time. That's all it is. So
What a trip.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy. So, cybersecurity recommendations. What are some of the common misconceptions about computer security, and what steps do you advise for protection?
The most common thing we see, sadly, is being ignorant about what's going on in the world about cybersecurity. So we talked to a lot of customers, and the main thing is not being aware of what's happening and saying, okay, we're a small company. That's the most number one thing I hear. And we're not a target for cybersecurity hacks. We don't get attacked because nobody wants to find us anyway online. It doesn't matter how large you are as a company. On the internet, we all look the same. Okay, you can have a website that makes you look like a billion-dollar company, and then people will try to get after you. So you have the attacks from the outside world, from overseas, from wherever, trying to get into your network, which we see a lot. Just we never hear much about it. Problem we see very often is with crypto viruses, encrypting hard drives, or ransomware viruses, which is very bad. It's a very simple thing, old-fashioned. You get an email, and it says you got to open this PDF, you got to do this, you got to do that. People click on it, nothing happens. Or 2 days later, all of a sudden, your network is encrypted, and you have to pay bitcoins to get it released. That's how things work, and that's happening all around the world through email. Still the number one thing we see with infections is still through email, and that brings up the other thing: how do you prevent this? Old-fashioned again is training, employee training, very important. People knowing what they can do and what they shouldn't do online. Because you can have all the protection in the world. If somebody clicks on something, it might start something that the systems don't catch. So you better be educated about this. But yeah, just staying ahead of the curve and make sure things are closed up. There's also in the industry for a couple of years now, in the IT industry, there's a term called zero trust. That means that you basically don't trust anything anymore. Sounds bad, right? But that basically means that you are closing all the doors on your network from the outside for your Wi-Fi, everything, and then you go backwards and you just open up the things you really need. And that's the way you should.
Yeah, we spoke about that yesterday.
Right.
Zero trust. It's probably the best way you should do it, right?
It's sad. That's how it is nowadays because everything is so connected. I know. You have access to many things. So many systems interact with your business.
How does ACT Computers empower clients to manage their tech confidently?
It was education. We actually come out on site to you, and we do that for free for many of our customers, where we arrange a meeting with all the employees in the lunchroom or wherever, around the water cooler, and go through a 20, 30-minute seminar of what they can do, what they can't. And then also, obviously, we also have other means of educating customers, and that's through testing networks. So we have systems in place where we can do what's called pen testing, testing from the outside that will send out emails deliberately to customers and to see who actually clicks on things. And then you can tell which employee was actually clicking on a fake email and interacting with it. And then you can get to see more of a picture of what's going on here, of who needs more training in your business.
I just got something from PayPal yesterday that I didn't buy, and it was like kind of like my receipt. I'm like, what is this? I should show it to you.
Yeah. Well, that's PayPal, eBay. The most common one out there now is the Norton scam, a Norton 360 that you renewed or something like that, and you get to call a number, and obviously it's overseas.
God.
So yeah, it's anytime you get anything that looks fishy, or it sounds too good to be true, or an offer that just oh, this sounds great. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Digital transformation. As business undergo digital transformation, what role does ACT Computers play in helping them streamline processes, improve efficiency, and enhance customer engagement? It's a loaded one.
We try to make sure that we do everything for the customer we can for their technology needs. So, to give you an example, we just worked with a doctor's office, a dental place, and so we go as far as replacing all the hardware, making sure everything's up to date, introducing new software, making sure that the applications they're using nowadays are cloud-based and they have a backup. Nothing's really saved on premises anymore for security and privacy. And so we try to get everything on board for the customer, not just the computers, but also the training for the customers, and making it easier for the customer to interact with the clients. So when they take in this, for example, dentist is easy, it's smooth, a lot of things like that. For example, also just something as mundane as cleaning up a business, physically cleaning it up. So we do that very often. We go down to replacing light bulbs in the server room because it's too dark in there. So we do that. And the customer actually realizes that, hey, it actually looks much better in here. Let's get rid of the piles of boxes in here. Let's put a real shelf in here. Let's make this look organized because this is your heart of your business. It's so important. When it doesn't work, then it's a wake-up call. So, but we're trying to make sure everything gets done as we can to make the customer happy and productive.
Wow, that's really cool. Future trends, are there any upcoming trends or advancements in tech that you're excited about, and how might they influence your services?
Yes, and I think we just talked about a little bit about AI, exactly, and we can talk about that all day long. But that's very exciting, also a bit scary, like you said, and I understand the hesitation with that. As long as we use AI properly for the right tools, it will be very productive for us, and it will really be a big revolution to the way we work and interact with each other. I mean, I use AI probably 5, 6 times a day to get some tasks done. It's very good about giving you different ideas, different, the way you write things, looking at things. So it's a great assistant tool. So it's going to be, you can see it, every industry right now is implementing IT, from insurance companies to wherever you do, to make things easier for you. The downside for this is that, like you said earlier, the job's going to change quite a bit. So some redundant jobs will be gone because it can take care of that. But then we have better jobs being created in the community. AI is a great tool. The downside about AI, I think, is as you see nowadays, kids are growing up with their phones. That's what kind of worries me, is that you see kids being stuck on their phones 24/7. And
I can't stand it.
And even at dinner table, and that's not good. So now with AI being so prevalent, this is going to be something that they can't live without in the future. So once they become an adult, and if they don't have access to an AI system, can they function properly? That might be a bad thing.
That's crazy.
So.
Okay, remote work and virtual collaboration. How has the demand for remote collaboration tools evolved, and what recommendations does ACT Computers have for navigating this shift?
Well, as we know, COVID really moved things. So COVID was the ultimate change in technology and IT. So that moved things ahead years, probably 10 years faster than we ever had before, because everybody had to jump on a remote and couldn't work at office anymore. So, and that's still working. Obviously, many companies are now requiring people to be back in the office, and I do agree with that. You got to show your face. You got to be there. Not everything can be done remotely. But for the technical standpoint is, we always implement systems that are secure and safe for remote access. That's very important. That you can also control your business, your employees, what they can access, from where, what time, and you also have a way of tracking things, so you can see what was done, and so you have control about whoever goes in your business has control. Very important.
How does ACT view the impact of AI and automation on the future of computing, and what opportunities and challenges do they foresee?
Well, like I said earlier, AI is going to be in everything. So for computers themselves, you're going to see an introduction of AI built into the hardware itself, which is already starting. You see that now. So AI is, as you know, running on data centers. So when you talk to ChatGPT, for example, it's not your computer doing anything. It's just a website interacting with a giant data center. So, for example, yesterday, ChatGPT was so busy it wouldn't let me in because it's billions of people around the world are using this system. Okay, so now they're trying to make it so that there is an additional processing unit inside your computer that handles just the work for AI. Every company is working on that. Intel is, AMD. Also a new company now called Qualcomm, which you probably heard about. That's in the news.
San Diego, it's at their stadium.
That's a company to watch. They just introduced a chip called Snapdragon Elite. We started carrying their notebooks now that actually have AI built into the chip. And what that means is that they are trying to offload the processing from the internet onto your own computer.
That's so cool.
So you don't really need the connection to the internet anymore to make the AI work on your computer. So, yeah, it's great. So,
well, again, you became, we're one of your customers now, and I know it made you stand out from me. You're a polished professional. You definitely know what you're doing, and that certainly makes us comfortable. And you have to be in today's day and age, and you're got families, and you're doing all the things that you're doing. You got to make certain that you're buttoned up. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
But what do you think sets you apart from your competition?
Experience, quite honestly, experience. Like I said, we only have technicians that have been doing this a long time. We always implement systems to have more training. Many times smaller IT outfits don't have the right training or the certifications or even insurance in that case. So I always say if you have something to offer as a service or product, you better have a way of backing it up. If you promise something, you better be able to deliver this. So, and we've been doing that for a long time. And starting very small, like I said, I was the first technician, and then we hired more and more people. So, just growing slowly and, not losing track of your business. That's the big thing. So we offer a lot of things. Yeah.
What's one thing you want our audience to take from this podcast?
Well, I would just like to say thank you, Paul, for inviting me.
You're welcome.
It was a wonderful studio here. I'm very surprised. It's absolutely amazing, and I really recommend other guests of yours to join here.
Thank you.
I know we are your customer. I'm your customer, and we do IT work. But also, even without that, I have noticed some nice results for the magazine advertising we've been going through.
Thank you.
Exactly. So, and it's nice to be able to track things. Being able to hear the interaction from the customer and your employee on the phone, and
the call tracking part of it.
Yes, the quality control you can implement. Wonderful, and I really recommend that. So, thank you.
Yeah, if you really listen to how people are talking to the customers, you sometimes just go, "Oh my gosh!"
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Please don't ever answer the phone again, right?
Yeah, correct. But anyway, thank you.
Where can where can our viewers check you guys out or contact you with questions that they might have?
Well, many different ways. So obviously our phone number, first thing, because we pick up the phone, is 772-567-7888. And our website is www.actcomp.us.
Let's do both of those again.
.us.
Let's do both the phone number and website again.
So it's 772-567-7888. And the website is www.actcomp.us for computers.
Yeah, and I also think that before going out and buying a computer, they should check with you and look at some of the things that you're doing, because you're doing it in-house, and how convenient that is that you have all the hardware, software, all that stuff right in the retail store. They could come in and have it done in no time. So
exactly, thank you. Yeah, we have gaming computers on display. We build them every day. Wonderful place to go around and just spend some time and see what new technology we have to offer.
And there might be another thing that we could do with this podcast, and that is we might want to get a few techie people in around this table, and maybe have a few of your friends or people that are in the business sit around and have a tech talk.
I think having a tech talk here would be wonderful.
So maybe you and I could work on that a little bit.
Yes.
We'd love to do that. And again, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you, and we're happy to be your customer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.